I was surprised yesterday that Mylan blamed pharmacy benefit managers who have nothing to do with their price hike and blamed the system and all these convoluted things for why they raise the price of their drugs. Just raise the price of the drug if you want to. We're used to that. We can deal with it. It comes with the territory, but don't blame others for it. It's a simple thing that drug companies do at the end of a cycle when they're going to face competition. Often they raise the price of the product. It's nothing new. But just own it and take responsibility. Don't blame others who have nothing to do with it. Plus, what pharmacy benefit managers do is employers, unions, and government programs essentially created us 25 years ago to help make benefits more affordable and accessible to the people that they serve, hundreds of millions of people. We bring down the cost of drugs. We negotiate with the drug companies. In a sense, if you want to call us a middleman, we are between the employers, unions, and government programs and the drug companies to keep those costs as low as possible. And a good example, probably the most noted example, since we're not a B2C business that people might understand, is PBMs administer the plans, the Medicare Part D program, the seniors prescription drug program, which is the most popular program, health program in the country. Has come in under budget every single year, exactly for the reason you mentioned, Joe. There's competition. We force competition among competing drug makers. There's competition among competing PBMs. Ultimately, seniors get to choose the plans that they want, and they're not going to choose one that's overpriced. That's something that pharmacy benefit managers do. So we weren't saying yesterday we're mad because the price rose. We don't like that, but we can deal with it. We're concerned, though, when a drug company raises the price of their product and then doesn't take responsibility for it and tries to blame others, particularly us.
Mark, it's Meg Terrell. I'm just curious, can you explain a little bit about how pharmacy benefits managers make their money?
Sure. What pharmacy managers, benefit managers do is we negotiate with all of our, with drug companies on behalf of all of our clients, the unions, government programs, employers, and so forth. And we get drug companies when they have drugs in the same class, the same category, to compete against each other. And the one that offers the best price concessions usually gets the best place on the formulary, meaning there may be a $10 copay instead of a $50 copay. You know, employers, unions, and others are willing to pay us for that. Now, these are Fortune 500 companies, others also typically, so these are tough competitors. These are tough health purchasers. They're willing to pay us fees to get that. There are all kinds of different ways that they do that. There is no PBM contract that is a universal, one-size-fits-all thing, because it's the clients who determine what kind of contract they want. A union may want one contract, Medicare may want another, an employer may want another, an insurer may want another.
Well, I guess the question is, do they pay you a set fee or do they pay you a fee based on the size of the discount? Because the argument of the drug industry is that you can get a bigger discount by raising the list price of a drug. Therefore, you would get paid a higher amount of that as a percentage.
Yeah, that's a total fallacy, and that's not true at all. We want lower prices. Our clients want lower prices. Our clients are very smart. Insurers are very smart. Fortune 500 companies are very smart. None of them have to hire a PBM, by the way. They all choose to save money, and they would never let that kind of deal come through. Mark, that's why they encourage us to promote generics and other lower cost drugs whenever possible.
What kind of margin do you get on the EpiPen?
I wouldn't know that. I mean, that's a company by company thing, but I wouldn't imagine very much because we don't.
But as the price of that particular product or any product goes up, does the margin increase?
No, we're not buying the drug. All we do is reimburse drugstores for how much they pay for it. So we're working with the employers and the drugstores and the drug companies, but we don't buy the drug and then resell it.
Are the drugstores taking a bigger margin as the price goes up?
Drugstores have a good margin. Of course, the drug companies have a good margin. And again, you have to look at this not as though as some complicated thing. Every business is complicated. Amazon's complicated. Detroit is complicated with General Motors. Facebook's complicated. There are always lots of different players involved. So it's a heresy, not a heresy, it is just a foolish thing to say that because there are a lot of different people involved in the process, that's who's driving the price up. The person who sets the price is driving the price up. Fine, but take responsibility for that. Don't blame others for that.